Hiya! Our late nights, groggy mornings, and that constant argument and all-day irritability becoming the normal in your house with your teenage daughter. I get it, 100%. Today we're diving into teenage sleep cycles and why sleep is absolutely essential, not just for her, but for you too. In this episode, we'll explore what's really going on with your teenager's sleep, and spoiler, it's not laziness, despite what culture, education, society, la-di-da-di-da all say to you. How lack of sleep impacts your connection, and how to create better sleep habits for the whole family. Plus, I'm going to share 3 simple, practical tips you can use right now to help everyone get more sleep. So welcome to the Teen Whisperer, the podcast for mums of teenage daughters who are trying their best to figure out this whole, teenager thing without completely losing the plot, and to thrive through the drama and confusion rather than just survive, as we're expected to do. I'm Rach Friedley, a parenting coach and mentor, and I help mums just like you build stronger, more connected relationships with your daughters by understanding what's really going on beneath all those behaviours. Oh yes, and I'm also a mum of a teenage girl, so 100% I get it. Today, we're talking about sleep, as I've already said, or let's be honest, the lack of it. Because let's face it, when your teenager is staying up late scrolling on her tech or sleeping until noon, it can feel like they're purposely sabotaging your sanity. But here's the thing. Teenage sleep isn't just as simple as going to bed earlier as it was in their childhood. There's real science behind why their sleep patterns are so different. And once you understand it, you'll have the tools to better support her habits and maybe even save your mornings from the regular screaming matches. I mean, who else has been there? I know I have. So grab that coffee, tea, whatever takes your fancy. I know you need it. And let's get into it. So how does all of this show up? So let me paint you a nice, pretty picture. Or maybe not. I'll let you decide that one. It's 11 p.m. and you find your daughter sitting in the dark, still staring at her phone. You were going to say to her, it's time for bed. You tell her to go to bed and she snaps, I'm not tired. You come off feeling far, far worse than you did when you went in the room to say to her, it's time for bed. And then you just think, what the heck? What's going on? Why am I failing at this? Why does this feel like a constant battle? Why is this going on and on every day? And it leads to an escalation. It leads to an argument every single night before you go to bed. I mean, who else has gone to sleep on an argument and not slept at all because you've had an argument? Anyone else got their hand in the air? I know I have. Then, of course, if that's not bad enough, there's the ripple effect. Her lack of sleep, and yours, turns into irritability, poor focus, and increased emotional outbursts. Yay! Meanwhile, your own stress and exhaustion from managing it all might leave you feeling disconnected and reactive and soothing instead of calm and supportive. So what's really going on? Here's the deal. Her sleep issues aren't about laziness, as I've already said, or rebellion. They're about biology, and she has no control over it. So during the teenage years, a teenager's circadian rhythm, which is their internal body clock, shifts by 2 to 3 hours. This is called a sleep phase delay, meaning their bodies naturally want to stay awake later and sleep in longer. It's like asking you to wake up every single morning at 4 o'clock. Anyone else feel the dread as soon as I say that? Waking up at 4 o'clock? I might be able to do it when I've got something exciting to look forward to as I'm going on holiday or something. But yeah, fills me with dread. Her circadian rhythm isn't naturally awake until 10 or 11 in the morning. But of course, society does not cater to this. Education doesn't cater to it. Culture doesn't cater to this. Early school start times, homework, social media, activities before school, training, and their ever-busy brains keeps them overstimulated and under-rested. Your teenager actually needs way more sleep now than any other time in her life, bar being a newborn, of course. Again, little known fact. And due to all the pressure that they're under, they very, very rarely get the amount of sleep that they need. I mean, just think of how we are, how you are when you haven't slept. Are you able to focus? Are you able to have your attention on things? Are you able to stay regulated and emotionally calm? No, I get it, 100%. So sleep is critical during the teenage years because it's when their brain processes the emotions. It files them away, it consolidates memories, and it supports growth in the physical body. And if they're not getting that sleep, their bodies and their emotions are not able to be regulated. They're not able to be processed, which can lead to the escalation of poor behaviours. So chronic sleep deprivation can lead to increased anxiety and depression because they're knackered at the end of the day and they haven't got the energy to focus on what they need to do. So therefore those belittling thoughts, those putting them down thoughts, the feelings of I can't do this, I'm worthless, I'm useless, can increase. Also leads to poor decision making. Hello, impulsive choices. It also leads to irritability and conflicts in relationships, not just with you, but with school, but with friends, with everyone around them. And of course, the last one is hiding in their room and disconnecting from life. And it's not just about them. When you're sleep deprived, let's get the right word in there, especially during bouts of stress or during the perimenopause and menopause states, it's even harder to regulate your emotions and respond calmly. Your connection with your daughter starts to feel strained, might be putting it mildly there, and that's when the disconnection cycle begins. So let's have a look at some UK specific statistics. So a study published in the Sleep in Adolescents and Young Adults found that 30% of 15-year-old boys and 49%, yes, you heard that correctly, 49% of 15-year-old girls in England reported experiencing sleeping difficulties. The same study highlighted that 36% of 15-year-olds reported not having enough sleep to concentrate on schoolwork, indicating a significant impact on their academic performance and their day-to-day lives. It's not just about academia here, it's about how they manage on a day-by-day basis. So research indicates that adolescents spent up to 1/3 of their waking hours on digital media. Yes, you heard me correctly. 1/3 of their waking hours. This excessive screen time, at least I'm going to add in there, especially before bed, is associated with increased risk of short sleep duration. And of course, there's the blue light that comes from the screens. There's the fact that your brain is constantly ruminating and taking on board new information. So it's overstimulated before she goes to bed. The Mental Health Foundation reports that sleep problems in teenagers are understandably linked to depression and anxious thoughts. So what can you do? What can you do right now? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Here are 3 simple tools to help right now. Number 1, create a calm evening routine. Yes, I know this might be easier said than done. Help her wind down by creating an unplugged hour before bed. Yes, I said hour. You can start small. Start by 15 minutes before she goes to bed. And then increase it to half an hour. And then increase that from half an hour to 3/4 an hour. And increase that from 3/4 an hour to an hour. No screens, dim the lights, and encourage relaxing activities like reading or journaling. Remember to model the behaviours you want to see in her, as this shows her the value of prioritising rest. If she can see you doing what you're asking her to do, she can then see the outcome more clearly. Number 2, get outside during the day. Exposure to natural light during the morning can help regulate her circadian rhythm. Encourage her to spend 10 to 15 minutes outside, or even just to open the curtains in her room. Better still, take a morning walk together, but I know that might be just out there right now, which of course is a double win for connection for you and her and your health together. And number 3, focus on nutrition before bed. So certain foods can support better sleep. Encourage snacks with magnesium or tryptophan, like bananas, nuts, or a small glass of warm milk. Or even take a magnesium supplement, such as Together Health. I'll give you the link below. Avoid sugar or caffeine as much as you possibly can, as it's the enemy of good sleep. It keeps you awake. It gives you that blood sugar boost. And then you're just like You're on a high before you have that drop. But that drop doesn't allow you to sleep. So want more tools to build a thriving relationship with your daughter? Download my free guide, Raising Confident Girls in a Digital World. It's packed with practical tips to help you lead your... It's packed with practical tips to help your teen girl thrive online. So check out my Instagram or Facebook pages at The Teen Whisperer. Or want more tips just like these? Sign up to be one of the first to hear when I release a new episode every week. So wherever you listen to this podcast, subscribe, and then you'll be one of the first. So teen sleep isn't just a battle over bedtime. It's a doorway to deeper understanding and connection. By learning what's really going on with her body and brain, you can step out of frustration and into a place of support and growth and connection. And don't forget, sleep isn't just for her, it's for you too. When you prioritise rest, you are able to manage those ups and downs with clarity and confidence. So thanks. Thank you for tuning in to The Teen Whisperer. If you know of a friend who really needs to hear this, please share my episode. And please give me a review. Remember, her behaviour is a signal, not a verdict on your parenting. Let's keep being proactive rather than reactive. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Ta-da!